Coming up on Cardinals Insider, Yadi, Waino, and Albert have been more than just teammates. They've been friends. Also, get to know Cards rookie Brendan Donovan and all three of his gloves.
I got my helmet in the cubby, and I got all my gloves in the cubbies.
Then later,
I've actually just started getting into golf the past couple of years, just because playing baseball, you have to be into golf, right?
we asked the guys what sporting event they would be most excited to attend as a fan. Those stories and more ahead on Cardinals Insider. Welcome to Cardinals Insider. I'm your host, Ozzie Smith. Yadi, Waino, and Albert are approaching their final stretch of their last season together as Cardinals. We've been celebrating their success on the field all season, but let's take a look at the unique friendship that they have built throughout their time wearing the birds on the bat during this week's installment of The Last Inning.
St. Louis the lead. This ball is gone. Two-run home run.
The Cardinals are world champions for 2000.
Struck him out, and the Cardinals have won the pennant. He's knocked out the outlet.
Baseball is a catch-and-throw game. No one can play it alone. The greatest ever still need someone at the other end, a partner to play catch with. Chemistry is an instant. It's forged through the bus rides and the extra innings and years of chasing the ultimate prize.
Swing and a miss. The Cardinals are world champions for 2000.
Trust is earned, not bought. And with it comes the conviction to throw a breaking ball with the bases loaded, or to silence a crowd with one swing. Camaraderie helps you be at your best when it matters most. You're never alone in moments of defeat, and you always celebrate victory together. These aren't just your teammates, they're your brothers. Baseball pairs people as kids, and they play catch until they're grown. The pop of the mitt becomes the rhythm of friendship. The game of catch will end, but the brotherhood lasts forever. Brendan Donovan has been working his way through the Cardinals farm system in recent years. After not playing any baseball in 2020, Donovan played for Peoria, Springfield, and Memphis in 2021. This season, Donovan has made his major league debut and has become a critical part of the roster. Take a look.
It's very challenging. You have to separate offense from defense. Like, you can't let one carry over into the other. I wouldn't have the success or any success if it wasn't for the staff that we have here. They do a great job of communicating and getting me reps and putting me in scenarios that I may be presented in that game that night.
High drive at the wall. It's gone. Brendan Donovan.
For me, I can think about my at-bats when I'm in the dugout, when I'm on deck, when I'm in the box, and then the minute that I step out of the dugout onto the track and running out to my position, try to switch over to defense.
Oh, backhanded play by Donovan. Gets up and throws a strike to first. Great play, Brendan Donovan down in the hot corner.
I have 5 gloves. It's hard to keep track of all of them, but I carry 3 out for the game. I have an infield glove, I got first baseman's mitt, I got an outfield glove. So there's been times where I've started a game at a position and moved to another, and there's been times I've moved to 3 different positions in a game, and there's been times where I haven't started a game and came into a position. So I just it's just like I got my helmet in the cubby and I got all my gloves in the cubby. Gets a little tiring carrying him around all the time, but it's good to have.
Line to left, and the catch made. Sliding grab by Donovan.
Outfield glove, 12 3/4. Obviously, it's a little bigger, deeper pocket on this because catching balls on the run, and you want balls that when they hit, you want them to stick in there. And then this is the one that I probably use the most. Play a lot more infield. So 11 1/2 inches. I've always been a big fan of the camel color. One thing about the infield gloves is they're smaller. Obviously, transfers and transitions need to be a little quicker. I was always an infielder. And then going into college, we had an older infield group. I had to move to the outfield to get in the lineup, so started carrying that around. Or people have been telling me I need to get a flashier color glove for a while, but man, it's just boring, man. That's me. It's plain and it's boring, and I love that it gets a little dirty, shows the dirt on it. So, and then I try to just put the custom, that's the nickname that everyone calls me, Donnie, on it. I've never officially had my own first baseman's mitt until this year. So it was actually a gift from Goldie. I never had my own, and so he gave me one, so I cherish that thing. It's pretty cool. This is the glove that was given to me by Goldie, obviously. Pretty cool. It's got his name on it. This is the same model that he uses. I mean, 12 1/2 inches, first baseman's mitt. I mean, I call it a taco because it looks like a taco. It's bigger. I mean, you got to be able to catch balls, pick balls if needed. And I just try to just prepare and do things the right way. And I'm not concerned about numbers. Like I play to win, and I want to win every single day. And so for me, taking the numbers out of it, it just allows me to go out there and just play the game the right way. I want to play hard. I want to do the right things for my team to give us a chance to win.
After the break,
Out to deep center. Duran back, looks up, and gone.
Danny Mac is back in the radio booth. Then later in the show,
Here's a game-used jersey from a new Hall of Famer, Ted Simmons. This was from 1971.
One Cardinal Way is the home to some pretty amazing Cardinal fans. McLaughlin is calling his 25th season with the Cardinals as the primary play-by-play voice on Valley Sports Midwest. You see him on TV, and now you can hear him on the radio too. Let's hear from Danny Mac on what it's like to lend his voice to the Cardinals radio network.
With the voice of the Cardinals, John Rooney, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Rick Horton is with us as well. And the Cardinals have a lead of 3-1 at historic Fenway Park in Boston. Gorman.
I ended up doing some of the radio games this year because obviously we don't do every game on television, and John Rooney approached me in Kansas City and said, hey, we want you on postseason baseball. We want you to be a part of that, which is something as a TV guy you don't get the chance to do when you're on a local package. And then we were in other spots that there might be a national game on television, and he said, hey, hop on and do some innings with us, and that's how it all started.
Strikeouts that walks. That's how good he's been.
The top of the fourth, it's the left-handed hitting rookie Nolan Gorman. He digs in, and the first pitch is swung on and missed from Cutter Crawford. Yeah, Ollie told us both he and Yepes put so much pressure on themselves, knowing prior to Pujols being signed that they may have a chance to make the club. And the 1-2 pitch from Cutter Crawford is hit high in the air, out to deep center. Duran back, looks up, and gone! Long home run to center, about 5 rows deep, and Nolan Gorman hits a long one, his 4th home run. He drives in his 13th, and it's 4-1 St. Louis.
The biggest difference when you're calling TV as opposed to calling radio, you have to describe exactly what you're seeing and try to keep up with the pace of play. You've got to be paying very, very close attention when you're on radio just to see little things that may happen in the game, where with television, the cameras may pick that up, and if your head is down because you're fixing your scorecard or looking at notes, you can catch back up. When I think back to my time working with Jack Buck and having the privilege to be side by side with him and calling radio, back then it was a dream come true. And Jack taught me a lot. Jack taught me that I was, when you're behind the mic in radio, the eyes and ears for those that cannot be there. He always told me, describe what you see, kid, and that's what I try to do. Yeah, I mean, I think about the first time that those guys came up. I called Albert Pujols' first hit, and I've called his last home run to date.
Albert hits it out to deep left. It is gone! Albert Pujols, home run number 685.
It's crazy to think that that's happened now over 20 years, separated between those two milestones for Albert Pujols. I called Yadi Molina's first hit, remember it vividly, in Pittsburgh, and a base hit to left.
There's Yadi Molina's first base hit in the major leagues.
So having the chance then to be behind the microphone for significant milestones, and it seems like every single game is a milestone for Yadi and for Albert and for Waino, and to realize that these calls will live on forever, it's very meaningful to me.
And in just a bit,
just that grind and, facing these guys, getting you ready for the big leagues, it's really fun. I really do enjoy it.
get a sneak peek of the latest Cardinals Insider podcast with top prospect Jordan Walker. Jordan Walker is putting up elite numbers at the AA level this year. And earlier this month, he sat down with our own Brett McMillan on our Cardinals Insider podcast to discuss his career thus far.
Jordan, man, so good to be catching up. Just how's your year been so far here at AA Springfield?
It's been great, man. Met a lot of new people, getting acclimated to the area. I really do like the area. Springfield's a great area, and the competition's been really tough too, which some people might shy away from, but I like good competition. Struggling a little bit. It's not always fun, but you get used to it, and it helps you learn. So I've learned a lot here, and I really do like it here.
How do you kind of just keep a level head and focus on your work and not worry about what's on the internet or what people are saying about where you are, where you aren't, or whatever?
It's, my teammates definitely help me out with that. They are always cracking on me, ripping on me for stuff like that. And so, just joking around with them makes it a lot easier, take, some of the pressure off. So I really thank them for that. But I honestly, to be honest, on social media, I really don't look at too much of that stuff. Somebody might tell me something, I'm like, oh, that's cool, but I know as soon as the pressure gets in there, that's gonna start affecting me. So I just try to take it easy, whatever happens, happens, and I feel like if I keep my same approach, I'll still be doing, my thing.
You're on this awesome journey right now.
Right.
Hopefully we're ending up in St. Louis and lots of good things to come.
Absolutely.
But I'm sure it's been a lot of fun to share with friends and family.
Absolutely.
How is it compared to what you imagined as a kid?
Right. It's even better, to be honest. I honestly didn't think minor leagues would be as cool as it is. I know it's definitely a grind, but it's fun. Still playing professional baseball, not in the big leagues yet, but you're getting closer and closer every day. You know what I mean? And just that grind and, facing these guys, getting you ready for the big leagues, it's really fun. I really do enjoy it, and I thought it was a lot better than what I thought it was as a kid.
For more of this conversation or to hear others just like it, check out Cardinals Insider Podcast on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast.
Cardinal fans come from all over Cardinals Nation. Some are lucky enough to live right across the street from the ballpark at One Cardinal Way. Meet Angelo and Susan Conti. They are huge fans with an amazing collection. Let's take a closer look.
Well, the first thing was the Cardinals. We love the St. Louis Cardinals and love the opportunity to be close to the ballpark, and you can't beat the view. Beautiful view of the river and a gorgeous view of the stadium. We heard a lot about the building, and it's met every one of our expectations.
So for me, it's around the community aspect. And there's just nothing like the feel of going to the game and the experience of being at Busch Stadium.
Well, I always enjoyed playing baseball and enjoyed the game. I love the science of the game. One thing that really hit me is memories when I was a kid. And when I thought about growing up and playing baseball and seeing a game, I'd collect baseball cards, or someone signed a ball for me once when I was at Yankee Stadium, and that sort of got that bug started for me. Here's a game-used jersey for a new Hall of Famer, Ted Simmons. This was from 1971.
Yeah, so part of collecting, the part of it that now I get to be a part of, is that we have these shared memories. Even games we go to, we've gone to in the last 20 years that we've been married, now we can say, remember when so-and-so hit that ball, or he's been at a game with one of our daughters and David Freese hit, his big hit, and now we can extend that. And so it's definitely something we want to pass on for generations.
Probably don't remember this. This was the pillbox hat, 1976, that the Cardinals wore. Lou Brock wore and signed this hat. So I've been very fortunate over the last 35, 37 years to collect a lot of memorabilia, have a lot of game-used items. One of Sue's favorite players and mine is Yadi or Merlina. I have the good fortune to have a lot of Yadi game-used memorabilia, everything from his chest protector to cleats to game-used bats to helmets. A game-used bat by Albert Pujols that he signed, a beautiful jersey, game-used signed by Lou Brock, things signed by Stan the Man, a book that the Democratic National Committee sent to August Bush Sr. that's signed by Franklin Delano Roosevelt. So I have a lot of historical items as well. I think that for me, it's the passion of collecting. Each one has a story, and each one, I think, is an element of the past that also gives us an insight to the future.
And still to come.
You know, it takes you back to, I played down here growing up as a kid, so just coming back and, seeing all the families come out. This is probably the biggest crowd these kids have played in front of.
The Cardinals in Phillips 66 took the big league experience to a Little League game. Earlier this summer, Phillips 66 and the Cardinals came together to create a big league atmosphere for two Little League teams in suburban St. Louis. Here's more on how big league baseball moved beyond Busch Stadium.
Phillips 66 is passionate about offering family experiences and supporting the communities in which we live, work, and play. That's why we brought the Home Plate Series to two youth teams from the Afton Athletic Association. With the Home Plate Series, we're bringing the elements of the big leagues to the youth leagues. From custom jerseys to player introductions by John Hewlett to former players in the dugouts helping to coach. Really, we're hoping to create a moment and a night these kids will never forget. So on Saturday, we're inviting the kids to a Cardinals game. All of the kids are going to be out there with their families. We're actually going to have a couple kids throughout the first pitch, and it's going to be a great way to tie all this back together. Again, we're bringing the big leagues to the youth leagues, and then we're bringing the kids back out to the big leagues.
It takes you back to, I played down here growing up as a kid, so just coming back and, seeing all the families come out. This is probably the biggest crowd these kids have played in front of, but to see all the other games going on and just to see, kids out playing ball, it's great. Man, I just thought the whole thing, having John Hewlett here, announcing, that's something as a kid growing up here in St. Louis, like, that voice immediately. So I thought that was awesome. And just all the work that went into this. A lot of times when you see promotion things, it's kind of like, they come out and they do. This was well planned, well thought out, and well executed. And for the kids, man, this is a huge experience for them.
Oh, the best thing is watching the kids, just going out there and just having fun. That's what it's about. This is how you fall in love with the game, and it goes back to being 12, 11 years old and having fun out here on the ballpark.
This is why we do what we do. Phillips 66 has been a proud partner of the Cardinals for more than a decade now, and really having this opportunity to partner with the Cardinals to give back to the community like this and provide such a memorable experience to these kids, that's everything. When we return, I'm answering one of your questions. It's Ask Ozzie, and it's up next. Cardinals Insider is a team effort, and that includes you. We'd love to hear from you. To get in touch with the show, head on over to cardinals.com/insider and click on the Contact Us tab. And while you're there, you can rewatch old episodes and check out our podcast too. It's all at cardinals.com/insider. It's time for this week's Ask Ozzie. Alexa from Davenport, Iowa asks, what are some of your hobbies and interests that you like to do in your free time? Well, most of my time, Alexa, is spent playing golf. There's a competitive void in your life if you do something for 15 or 20 years. That void is filled by golf because you're competing against yourself, the course, and the people that you're playing. I spend a lot of time on the golf course. I also spend time playing, I love to play backgammon. I love to play checkers. And here recently, with my granddaughter, we play Uno. Playing golf is very therapeutic for me as well, because I have a net and everything downstairs. So just like baseball, I get to spend a lot of time doing that. I enjoy the process of learning and what I call digging it out of the dirt and figuring it out. I haven't had a whole lot of lessons, so I've got to figure it out if I don't want to embarrass myself when I go to tournaments. A good day, of course, is shooting anytime you can shoot in the 60s, which I've done twice this year. A bad round for me now has gotten to a point to where it's around between 75 and 78, and that's because of all the hard work I put in.
Thanks for the question, Alexa. If you want to submit a question, head on over to cardinals.com/insider and click the Ask Ozzie tab. But for now, stay with us. There's more Cardinals Insider after the break. On this week's Ask a Cardinal, we asked the guys which sporting event they would most want to attend as a fan. Here's how they answered.
I would like to see the Steelers in the Super Bowl live. That's what I would like to see.
Probably go to Augusta and watch the Masters would be bucket list. I've been to the Rose Bowl, which is cool. That was a great experience, but I think Augusta would be amazing.
There's a lot, but I mean, golf's my favorite, so probably go to the Masters or, the Ryder Cup or something like that, the biggest events.
I've actually just started getting into golf the past couple of years, just because playing baseball, you have to be into golf, right? So the Masters would be a fun event.
Maybe to attend, like a Super Bowl or something like that. I don't really know. As a fan, I saw Kobe's last game, national championship, FSU versus Auburn.
Love to go see a Super Bowl at some point.
I break dance. Break dance is the first time in the Olympic Games. I like that one. It's amazing, guys. Jumping. It's like it's so fun. It's have fun, that one.
I'd like to go to the Olympics or something. Just like to see something new that I haven't seen. Like I've seen basketball, I've seen football. I'd want to see a sport that I've never seen before. Maybe X Games. So I like the cold.
I saw a sumo match in Japan. I've seen some golf. I've seen some basketball. Like World Series. I'd like to play in one, but I haven't seen one from the dugout either. So I'd like to see a World Series. It'd be nice.
That's all for this episode. Join us again next week. And as always, you can watch new episodes on YouTube or cardinals.com/insider. And for everyone involved with the show, I'm Ozzie Smith, and we'll see you next time.